Make a motion to accept the agenda for the meeting of Scituate Board of Health, Monday, May 10th, 2021 at 6 p.m. Do I have a second?
Second.
All in favor? Aye. Okay, scheduled items, discuss and vote septic system design hearing 26 Palford Road, or Cavio consultant representing homeowners request for installation of septic requiring local grade and variances.
Evening, Brendan Sullivan with Kevin R Consulting. So basically, we have a Palfrey Street. We have a failed septic system at 22 Palfrey, and this small lot. It's a 40 by 80 lot. We're putting it in the backyard. Limited room back there. Existing 3-bedroom dwelling. We're in the floodplain, barrier beach, and a coastal dune. We did get approval from conservation a couple weeks ago. So we're looking for actually a few local upgrades. One is to reduce the septic tank from 1,500 to 1,000 gallon. Reduction in setback to property line down to 2.3 feet from 10 feet for the septic tank and the septic field. And reduction in setback from a concrete slab, which is actually a crawl space from 10 feet to 5.2 feet. We're really kind of restricted in the area here. It's an old cottage. It's a cinder block foundation. We're not really sure what kind of foundation there is there. Kind of concerned about the depth of the septic tank, the excavation near the foundation. I did speak to an installer as recently as today. He thinks we may be able to get a 1,500 gallon tank in there and increase that setback from the property line so it's greater than 2.3 feet. Maybe make it as much as high as 5 feet. But I'd like to request these local upgrades so we can work with those.
Okay. Joan, do you have any things?
I just have a couple of minor things, but I'll just send you an email on it. We prefer sorry, it's my dog. We prefer that they, put a 1,500 gallon tank in if they can. But if they can't, we're recommending that they pump that yearly if they can't fit it.
Yeah, I recommended that to the owner as well. If it is a 1,000 gallon tank, I recommended pumping it yearly. Like I said, I spoke to an installer. He seems to think he can get a 1,500 gallon tank in there. The only reason why I went to 1,000 was because once again, it was space. But he seems to think he can get either further away from the foundation and away from the property line as well. So.
Is it a year-round home or is it just seasonal?
Right now it's seasonal.
That was it. I just have some other minor things, but I'll email him on them.
Okay. Thank you.
Yeah.
So with the request, when we do the motion, should we say just how they are listed here? Or should we say about the pumping a year and?
You can add that to it, there is a recommendation on the plan as well.
Okay.
It's not a local upgrade.
Okay.
Request.
Do either of you guys have the motions in front of you or want to make a motion?
I have it. I can do this one.
Okay.
So we move to approve the septic repair plan with the following upgrades requested for 22 Palfrey Street. Number one, to request to allow a setback from the required 10 feet to 2.3 feet from the proposed SAS and the septic tank and the property lines. 2, to request to allow a setback from the required 10 feet to 5.2 feet from the septic tank or pump chamber and the property line. 3, to request to allow a setback from the required 10 feet to 6.2 feet from the SAS and the slab foundation. 4, to request to allow a setback from the required 10 feet to 5.2 feet, the septic tank and the slab foundation. 5, request to allow the use of 1,000 gallon septic tank from the required 1,500 gallons. So 1,000 to 1,500 gallon septic tank with the stipulation that it is pumped annually.
Okay. Second?
Second.
All in favor? Aye.
Aye.
Okay. So Joan will get you those other questions or whatever.
Great. Thank you. Appreciate it.
All right. Have a great night.
Thanks. You too.
You too. All right. Second one. Discuss and vote septic system design hearing 102 Lawson Road. Moss Engineering representing homeowner. Request for installation of septic system and requiring local upgrades and variances.
Good evening. This is Greg Morse, registered engineer, Morse Engineering. The project in front of you is located at 102 Lawson Road, owned by Cynthia Roach. This is a septic system repair project. The home is a 3-bedroom house and recently failed a Title V inspection. The proposal here is to put in a new Title V compliant system. We've cited the system in the front yard because the backyard has significant wetland area in it. The system is an advanced system. It's a Hoot aerobic treatment tank, a pump chamber, and then a pressure dosed geoflow drip system. We've tried to site it as far from the wetlands as possible on the site, but it does require 4 local upgrade approvals. Those local upgrade approvals are listed on the plan. One of them is the setback from the soil absorption system to the property line being proposed at 4.8 feet, where 10 feet is typically required. The second one, a setback from the pump chamber to the property line at 5.1 feet, again, where 10 feet is typically required. The next one would be a reduction from 10 foot required to 6.5 foot proposed, which is the setback from the foundation to the septic tank. And then a reduction from 10 feet to 3.2 feet between the septic tank and the water service, being a sleeved water service in this case. We've tried to site it as best we could on the lot with respect to where the existing house is, the lot lines, and the utilities that are there. It's not an increase in flow. It's a 3-bedroom repair system. I turn it over to you.
Okay, Joan, anything in this one?
No, we're okay with the plan. We just, Greg, at the and when you go in to do your final, can you go in and make sure that the garbage disposal is removed?
Yes, we can do that.
Okay, great.
Okay. Someone want to read the motion?
Sharon?
I can do this one too. So I move to approve the septic repair plan for the following upgrades for 102 Lawson Road. 1, approve the request to allow a setback from the required 10 feet to 4.8 feet from the proposed SAS and the property line. 2, request to allow a setback from the required 10 feet to 5.1 feet from the septic tank or pump chamber and the property line. 3, to request to allow a setback from the required 10 feet to 6.5 feet from the septic tank or pump chamber and the foundation. 4, request to allow a setback from the required 10 feet to 3.2 feet from the septic tank and a water service.
Okay, second.
Second?
All in favor? Aye. Okay. So,
Everybody has to say aye.
oh.
Aye.
Okay.
All right. I thought I heard it, but.
I didn't hear, I didn't hear it. That's okay.
Okay. All right. Number 3, keeping Greg on the hot seat. Discuss and vote septic system design hearing for 45 Penfield Road, Morse Engineering representing homeowner. Request for installation of septic system requiring local upgrades and variances.
Good evening. Again, Gregory Morse for the record. I'm representing the applicant, Joe Spinella. This is a septic system upgrade project located at 45 Penfield Road. The property has an existing 5-bedroom home on it. It recently failed a Title V septic inspection. The proposal here is to install a new Title V compliant system. We've located it in the front yard of the house, again, because in the rear yard, there's extensive wetland resource areas. This requires 4 local upgrade approvals. The first one being a reduction between the cellar foundation wall and the septic tank being proposed at 5.2 feet, where 10 feet is required. The second one, a reduction from 20 feet required to 12.1 feet proposed between the cellar wall and the soil absorption system. Thirdly, a reduction from 4 feet to 3 feet of separation between the soil absorption system and the groundwater table. And then 4, to allow the use of a sieve analysis instead of a perk test. We've sited the system as far from the wetlands as we can and tried to get it in as best we could with respect to the property lines, the house, and utilities where they exist. I turn it over to you.
Okay. Joan?
We didn't have any issue with it's really the only place they could do it, so.
Okay.
Is it only 4 or is it 5?
It's
Requests?
a 5-bedroom repair.
Yeah, but is it, are you looking for 5 variances? Because I've request to allow a setback from the required 20 feet to 12.1 feet from the septic tank or pump chamber on the property line.
Yeah, it's 4 local upgrades.
For 45 Penfield, right?
Yes, for 45 Penfield.
Okay.
There's four local upgrades listed on the plan.
Yeah, and then the sleeve analysis is the 5th.
Okay, I see what you're saying. The 5-foot setback for the septic tank and the pump chamber, that's 2 individual ones.
Okay, that's,
Yeah, we
okay,
just
now I feel
separated
better.
them
I
on
just
the-
wanted to make sure we were all on the same page.
Gotcha. Yep.
Okay, someone want to make a motion, please?
Okay, I'm on a roll. Move to approve the septic repair plan for 45 Penfield Road with the following upgrades requested. Number 1, request to allow a setback from the required 10 feet to 5.2 feet from the cellar wall and the septic tank and pump chambers. 2, to request to allow the setback from required 20 feet to 12.1 feet from the septic tank or pump chamber and the property line. 3, to allow a setback from the required 10 feet to 6.2 feet from the cellar wall and the SAS. 4, to allow a setback from the required 4 feet to 3 feet between the groundwater and the bottom of the SAS. And 5, to allow the use of a sieve analysis to be performed.
Okay, second,
Second.
all in favor? Aye?
Aye.
Aye.
Aye, okay. And the last of Greg's, discuss and vote septic design hearing for 24 Old Mouth Road, Morse Engineering representing homeowner, request for installation of septic system requiring local upgrades and variances.
Good evening. Again, Gregory Morse, registered engineer. I'm representing the applicant, Bill Whittier. This is a septic system repair located at 24 Mouth Road, which is in the Hummerock section of town. Rather small lot, approximately 3,900 square feet in size. It has an existing 4-bedroom house on it, and it has a cesspool that recently failed a Title V inspection. The proposal here is to install a new Title V compliant system. What we've proposed is a 1,500-gallon septic tank, a 1,000-gallon pump chamber, and then 2 crushed stone leaching trenches located in the front yard. There's several local upgrade approvals on this one. They're listed on the plan. Going through them, it's a reduction from 10 feet required to 5.5 feet between the property boundary and the soil absorption system. A reduction from 10 feet required to 5.4 feet between the property boundary and the septic tank and the pump chamber. To allow a reduction from 10 feet to 4.4 feet between the crawl space on the house and the septic tank and the pump chamber. To allow a reduction from 10 feet to 5 feet between the crawl space and the soil absorption system. Next is to allow a maximum of 25% size reduction in the soil absorption system size. And then lastly, to allow a reduction from 10 feet required to 9.2 feet between the water supply and the soil absorption system at the site. We cited the system as best we could given the site constraints, which is why we need these local upgrade approvals. It's not new construction, it's a repair of an existing home. I'll turn it over to you.
Okay, Joan? Anything?
I don't think so.
None?
It's a tough spot. I don't think we have anything.
Okay. All right. Someone want to read a motion? Karen, you on a roll tonight to take over?
I am. So we'll move to approve the septic repair plan with the following upgrades for 24 Old Mount Road. 1, to allow a setback from the required 10 feet to 5.6 feet between the property line and the SAS. 2, to allow a setback from the required 10 feet to 5.4 feet between the property line and the septic tank or pump chamber. 3, to allow a setback from the required 10 feet to 5 feet between the crawl space and the SAS. 4, to allow a setback from the required 10 feet to 4.4 feet between the crawl space and the septic tank or pump chamber. 5, to allow a maximum of a 25% reduction in the SAS size. And 6, to allow a reduction in the required 10 feet to 9.2 feet between the water supply line and the edge of the SAS.
Okay, second,
Second.
all in favor? Aye.
Aye.
All right. I think that's it.
Oh, I think.
Thank you very much.
Bye, Greg.
Bye-bye.
Thank you.
All right, director's report.
Okay, on the director's report. We have 10 plans in for 45-day review, 12 plans in looking for engineering reviews. We have 3 waiting for Concom review, and we have 22 as-built waiting to be approved. COVID is still everything that we're talking about right now. We, in Scituate, we have vaccinated a little over 10,000 residents already in the town. So between people using the sites that we had done and our services and, you know, the mass vaccination sites and the pharmacies, it's a really good number, 10,000. They just approved the Pfizer vaccine for children 12 to 15, I believe.
Yep, that's right.
I see Karen nodding her head so that's another good thing. I actually just got vaccinated last Tuesday. Myself and my little brother went out and we got the Johnson & Johnson vaccine. So as we start to move forward, there are events that are going to be opening up again. Today is another big day for reopening. We are allowed to go from 12% to 25% at all of the big stadiums. So Fenway is going to have a little bit of a boost tomorrow night in their attendance. Amusement parks, water parks, not that we have any of those in Scituate, they can all open up to 50% capacity. May 29th, parades and festivals will be opening up. And with that comes, we have July 4th parades that are looking at us already. We have halfway to St. Patrick's Day parade that we're looking at in September. We've discussed with those planners things that we're looking for. They're supposed to submit a safety plan to the local Board of Health. I would love it if DPH would explain to us what we should expect to see on that safety plan. So it would help us to educate the people of what we expect them to do. But as far as, these outdoor festivities around Memorial Day and July 4th, Flag Day is in the 14th, that's a big parade up in Quincy. When you go to these events, it's still very, very wise to wear a mask if you're going to be congested. If you can spread out and you're just at a friend's house and the parade happens to be going by and you're with a group that you've been with, by all means. And I can't stress enough, the more people get vaccinated, the sooner it's all going to end. What else do we have in the director's report? I think that's about it.
Okay. Old business?
So on old business, I did send an email out, and I don't know if you had a chance to look at it. I sent it kind of late, Joan, about, can we discuss the 3 proposals that were put before us a couple of weeks ago, and we did them 3 in one night. Each one had like 45 minutes. And I just want to talk about how we want to go forward with having them come in so that we can continue the conversation that we're doing. Can we talk about that in old business?
It's not on the agenda.
So we can't. That has to be
No,
the agenda. Okay, then we'll put that on the
we'll
agenda.
put it on for next time if you want.
And the only reason I say it is because I get a couple of emails for different items that we had, and I just want to make sure we're doing it the right way.
Yeah, we can put it on the next agenda.
Okay,
And we did get the abutter cards for the septics for the record. So just to let you
Okay.
guys, for the property,
yeah, I saw that you got, I got them also.
we got them all.
And I think the last thing is administrative approvals.
Oh, yes, we have a couple of invoices. Two of them, a perk test for 280 and another perk test for 210 that need to be signed for your approval.
I approve.
Likewise.
Okay. And the butter cards, that's good. We got that in.
And I think that's it.
I think that's it.
All right, make a motion to close the meeting for Scituate Board of Health,
Second,
Monday, May 10th.
second,
All in favor?
Aye.
I.
All right.
Thank you,
Bye, guys.
everyone.
Bye.
All right, have a good night.
Have a good night.